Hello, everybody, and welcome to tonight's session. It's time for the announcements, so I'm going to go through those really quick, and then we will get started with our game. Tonight, we have a introduction session. Character introduction sessions are generally there to introduce a player character to the world of Valgast, and help that player get into that character so that they can feel acclimated when they begin to roleplay with them with their main group. And we can also get like a preview of their story and what's going on with them. Additionally, the schedule, as always. For starters, we have our next session on the 10th. That's for Kingdom of Darkness, session 24. That's our final session for Kingdom of Darkness. Then on the 15th, we have session 19 of Baptized in Blood. Hi, Deli Do. On the 17th, we have the character introduction for From Depths Unkind for Kirk. That's on the 17th. That's also at 7 p.m. And then on the 29th of June, we have session 20 of Baptized in Blood. And that'll be also at 7 p.m. US East. Apologies tonight for the delay. There was a scheduling miscommunication between myself and my player, and that's okay. That kind of stuff happens. But apologies. Lastly, there was a house rule update for Chapter 3. So if you haven't looked at it yet, you can find that in Valgast House Rules. If you don't know what an adventuring day is, basically that's the amount of encounters that you experience between long rests. So if the adventuring day is bigger, i.e. 6 days instead of 1 day, you still experience one long day's worth of encounters as usual, just in a 6-day span as opposed to a 1-day span. So it should help with some of the criticisms that I've had regarding difficulty and some of the side mechanics like downtime and massive injury. Also should help marshals boost their efficacy, should also reduce the efficacy of major spellcasters so everything doesn't turn into a nuke fight. And so should give us a lot more room for narrative, and that's the idea behind it. So, that all said, we're going to go ahead and get started. That's it for announcements. And bring us over to our gameplay channel, and here we have our player, Sin. And Sin, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Sin. I've been playing in Azeroth's world for 3 years now, and I've been role-playing since 2nd edition White Box.
You don't have
I'm an
to.
old
You don't have to tell people how old you are every time, Sin. You really don't. I think you get some kind of sick joy out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yes. Hey, I've made it this many times around the sun. I'm proud of that fact.
You should be. Sin, you'll be playing Lila this evening, correct?
I will.
Okay. Any last moment, out of character things you want to say before we dive into our narrative for the evening?
Nope. Let's light this candle.
All right. Right. Let's see. Hi, Deladu. Yes, I love you, baby. Okay. The mountain retreat has a warmth to it, despite the altitude. The long stair climb to the doors dissuades those that are not serious about seeking the aid of the priests of Liquidor, of the Fellowship of Empathy. The lake country to the south, which is visible from the monastery's terraces, is synonymous with healing. Those with the means that are suffering travel here to recover or die with dignity. The halls of the monastery are clean and well lit with wonderful views. Windows that allow clean mountain air and sunlight from the east and west. These halls are bridges that connect the various major portions of the compound together. Halls for learning, for training, fellowship, barracks for an aesthetic ascetic life. Not aesthetic, but ascetic. Um, damn it. Sorry. Gardens and hallows for meditation and mental peace. Below these paces of harmony lies the asylum, where troubled, disturbed, and mad receive the kind ministrations of the monks and nuns, physicians of the mind and body, trained as you are with skills in self-defense and healing. At the entryway, a medium-sized door sorry, my bad. Start that one over. At the entryway of a medium-sized door stands a man in his 40s. Clad in the soft white and blues of your order's general apparel, with a warm green stole, Brother Edmund outranks you, beckons you over, away from your patient Leo, who has frequent seizures and hallucinations. Leo has been doing better. You know Brother Edmund as a kind man that cuts to the chase generally, wanting not to waste time. As he says, the commodity we all have but can spare none of, and therefore any given is the truest gift. He says to you, Sister Lila, if you have a minute.
Yes, Brother Edmund, what is it?
Please describe your character as she approaches him.
Lila is an ice, which is a cat-like creature. She has digitigrade feet. She's dressed in a short tunic and of blue and white. I'm unfamiliar what color her stole would be. The GM will have to tell me. She generally goes around. She has several belt pouches that have various herbs and whatnot in it. In this particular case, if she's out on the road, she will be traveling with what is ostensibly a staff, but is also a tasubo or war club. She's rather adept in the use of. She has brown coloring with gray spots, tufted ears, and a tail she can't quite keep under as much control as she'd like. She also has golden eyes.
Yes.
And that's what Lila looks like.
Gonna go ahead and give that. And I don't know how to get it to go away. Oopsie. There it goes. Okay, great. So, he asks you as you approach him, how's Leo handling his new medication?
He seems to be doing better, but he still has the seizures, but they aren't as violent or as stressful.
Okay. Well, maybe another week to adjust, and then we'll see if changes need to be made. Master Lawrence has received a request for a trained minister such as yourself for an important mission for the Crown. Your name came up in the conversation. The Order thinks it's about time for you to complete a pilgrimage. Perhaps you'll find the answers you seek?
Perhaps, but I will go see the master and see if I am what he wants.
Let's go up to the monastery and talk about this some more. We'll need to select a junior to take your caseload, and you should have some input about that.
Very well.
You walk along the terrace sometime later, viewing the lakes to the south. For people's enjoyment, the lake country is these lakes, the Aran Lakes, and the monastery is about here, where the ping has gone off. Again, you walk along the terrace, viewing the lakes to the south. Brisk wind cuts through. The stones here are cold, gray, and the wall is about waist high. Master Lawrence, an older man in his early 60s, as well as Brother Edmund, are walking with you. completing a lap around the complex. Master Lawrence is speaking. His voice is strained. The disease racking his body is fatal. Brother Edmund is helping him walk. Tomorrow you will leave our home, the bosom of our patron and Lady Liquidor. This invitation was formally given to our order, and thankfully the Crown respects us enough to allow us to choose the individual that will fulfill this task. We have never failed them when aid has been sought, our missions being aligned in overall purpose, the health and future of humanity. They secure it through strength of arms, the strength of a state. We secure it through medicine of the mind and body. He stops to hack and cough. The Dark Elves are an alien people we know little about. What we do know is that they respect those that are chosen by the upper pantheon and treat them kindly. We believe that this mission makes you worthy, and that you'll not fail us, and so we are entrusting to you a sacred relic. From his robes, he produces a long box of lacquered light wood with knots carved into it that are pleasing to the eye. This is one of the 12 branches of peace. The artifact of our order comes from beyond the river Alluramark. It is a holy relic of Liquidor, an ancient olive branch from time immemorial. With this in your hands, Liquidor will know you as the champion we have chosen for her. If she finds you worthy, she will grant you powers to heal and harm, powers to protect and punish. You must use your sound judgment to discern what powers to use and when, and upon whom. When you return from your pilgrimage, you shall return it to this box, which will be in the safekeeping of Brother Edmund. Should you perish on your journey, it will return to the box without you, and we will mourn the loss of you.
Lila takes the box.
He
And
gestures for you to take the wand, the branch, from the box.
okay. Takes the wand from the box and holds it in both paws and looks it over. I am but an imperfect vessel, but I will do forever my best not to fail the lady or the order, and am beyond honored to have this bestowed upon me. I can only hope that in some way that I can accomplish the goal set before me.
Master Lawrence bows his head and says, "Of course. Now, I believe you have a journey to prepare for. Unfortunately, your stay has not been as long as we would have liked. You've traveled far to get here from your home. Soon, you'll travel much farther. You've never been to a city the size of Fordeth before, have you?"
No, the monastery has been the largest thing I've ever seen.
The capital is grander and far more sprawling and far denser in population. There will be many, many people there. Keep your wits about you. While most of them can be trusted to be going about their day, some are on such hard times that they are willing to do harm to others. Shouldn't have much trouble, though. People tend to respect our order. So,
That is good to know. Thank you. I will retreat to my quarters and pack the relic with due care.
of
Will I
course,
see you in the morning?
I would believe I have hours to complete in the morning. So if you are aiming to depart as soon as possible, which you should, then I do not believe we will see you.
May the goddess keep and bless you.
May the goddess keep and bless you, Sister Lila.
Lila's going to bow and head back to her quarters and figure out how to pack this sacred relic and without it getting damaged.
Already, I've given you a puzzle. How to pack your bags for a long trip. You pack this new relic in a small reliquary, just a box that is sized for it. Not quite the same box that it was originally in, but it's roughly the same. Brother Edmund provides you one later, knowing that this would be your plight. Seems to have anticipated your need. And of course, you pack armor, some armor that the order is willing to give you, a small shield. They give you your club back, and some rations for your trip. Some candles, a censer, a blanket, some incense, and a copy of the prayer book, as well as your formal expeditionary invitation, which is in your inventory, which reads, for the benefit of all, Citizen Lila, the Corinthian Administration, Office of the Archmage, has received your request and petition to join the expedition to the Umbral Deep. The expedition will leave on the 1st of Florus, 1052 AJ. Please arrive in Fordeth no later than Oceus 1st, 1051 AJ, for suitability and training. Should you be delayed, please send a letter informing us of the delay. Should you be so delayed that you cannot make the departure date, an investigation will be launched into the matter with potential criminal penalties. In regards to accommodations, the Corinthian administration has seen fit to afford you housing in a public tenement in the southeast district, Harpy. If you wish, you may secure housing elsewhere in the city. If you do so, you are required to inform us as to where you are staying. As a representative of Corinth, you will be duly compensated upon your return after the successful completion of the diplomatic mission. Due to the nature of the mission, you are appointed the temporary title of Legatus Adjuncto. In this capacity, you are given the authority to negotiate with the primary powers that rule the Dark Elven city of Werami. The diplomatic package you will receive in Fordeth will have the documents, briefs, and information necessary to assist you in this endeavor. Signed, Martha Bloodwraith, Agent of the Archmage.
Okay.
You also pack your Denti, which is your identification, which you know you need because you have been stopped several times in places such as Duskburg and Esterwell and Sutterlock and Hellinger.
And
Being, who are you and what are you doing here? Well, I have this. Papers, please.
yeah, that she's really good on, having her papers.
Mm-hmm. And so, Brother Edmund also provides you with these things: your letter of invitation, the box to hold the relic in, and anything else you may need on your journey. So,
Will she be staying in the travelers' inns, or is she going to need money to pay for lodging?
So Brother Edmund does speak to you about this before the evening closes and lights out is called. He says, so I know the letter says that you will be afforded accommodations. We've already taken the liberty of telling the Corinthian administration that you'll be staying in the local temple. We've already made arrangements for you to do so. So you won't have to worry about accommodations when you get there, and you'll be around people that know what you'll be going through upon your arrival. It's going to be a big city, and there's going to be a lot going on. I recommend that you take your time of it. Enter through the south gate, like all incoming traffic, and if you run into trouble, look for guards. They are wearing what colors?
Purple and gold?
Black and red.
Black and red.
Black and
Black
red.
and red.
Yep.
Black and red.
Yep. Black and red. So, if you run into trouble, go and find one of them. Try not to do Any violence, if you can help it, just make things more difficult to explain to people.
Brother Edmund, I never try to find trouble.
Yes,
I
trouble
really don't.
seems to find you, and it's a talent that you have, Sister Lila. You've already selected your replacement for your cases.
Yes, uh, young Mino, he shows a great deal of aptitude, especially in the mind.
Good. Okay, then we will we'll transfer your cases to him and see how he performs. I hope your time here in the monastery was not bad. I know it can be a bit difficult sometimes.
In what way? I found it to be restful and fulfilling.
Then that is all that needs to be said, and that is what we aim for. Restful, fulfilling.
Yeah, that I will leave and head out. Okay, Game Master.
Yes.
How long is it going to take her to get from the monastery to Fortis?
Uh, it is roughly 100 miles. So it would normally take you about 5 days.
Okay, hopefully there are places for her to sleep or she's sleeping rough.
There are no places for her to sleep, so it's gonna be rough
Okay,
because it's not on the road, right? It's up here in the mountains.
okay, well, no, that's why I was asking if there were
Yeah,
places to stay.
no, there's not, but you'll have enough
Okay,
food for
that
that travel.
that's not a problem. Okay. Gonna head out to Fortis.
Yep. So the following morning, you get up before dawn crows, and as the others in the monastery are waking up, other members of your order, they're waking up to get ready for morning prayers. It's understood that you will be departing before them. As you go to leave, you do see some of them are beginning to head up to that terrace that overlooks the lakes. Some of your friends that you've made here, Brother Edmund, are watching you leave the monastery and go down the stairs into the wilderness.
She's slightly wistful about going down the stairs because she liked it there. But her time is not her own and she goes where she is told.
Anything that Lila thinks about on her trek through the wilderness to Forda? Any habits she has when she's traveling? Any, rich daily rituals she does? Anything like that?
Um, well, she is a cat. She's still trying to get used to bathing in water.
Mm-hmm.
She'll force herself to do that on occasion. And read her prayer books, practice her languages, remember red and black. You need to see the red and the people and the red and the black. She might spend a couple of hours practicing with her quarterstaff, with her work club, because a sound body needs a sound mind needs a sound body.
That's right. Okay.
And she's gonna make her way to Florida.
All right. Over these next 5 days, you travel through the upper plains of Haveneld, in the Darthak Highlands of the northern Darthaks, to Fordath. The trek is not particularly difficult. You find that your body is well suited for this sort of long distance moseying, much like much like a mountain lion might wander dozens of miles in a given week, even maybe 100 or more. You find yourself also capable of moseying a great distance without much trouble, in a sort of lackadaisical cat kind of way, just like doo 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 doo. You don't find yourself particularly put upon by beasts or other animals. You find yourself, and this is a phenomena you've noticed before, that a lot of the little critters kind of just keep their distance from you writ large.
Well, that's probably good because she has eaten her share of them on occasion.
Right. After these 5 or so days, about half a week, you arrive in Forda, a grand city, the likes of which you've never seen before. It is many times the size of the monastery. The walls on the exterior of the city so high it makes you feel dizzy. At this early hour, as you reach the gate, you see that there's a line already forming. Carts drawn by horses, mules, oxen, some by salamanders, about 12-foot long lizards, quite strong. Imagine rather sizable and limber crocodile kind of creature. Um, you come across this scene as people's papers are being checked before they enter the city, goods being declared, and that sort of thing. You wait your turn in line. Do you talk to anyone here while you wait your turn?
I'm pretty sure nobody wants to talk to her. She's gonna wait in line and keep her eye just her eyes are about half the size of her face because she's taken this all in. This is the biggest thing she's ever seen in her life.
Mm-hmm. As you approach, you get closer and closer. The size of it is still kind of dawning on you. When you finally reach the gate, you perhaps are awestruck enough that the guard kind of snaps his fingers loud enough to snap you out of it and says, "Papers, miss."
She hands over her denti.
And looks at your identification card. Lila, you're an Ith. Yep, you sure are. Okay, Lila, what's your purpose to coming to the capital today?
Have been summoned to meet with Martha Bloodrath for a mission on behalf of the temple.
Temple of what?
Licador.
Liquidor. Okay. You have that?
She fishes the letter out of her backpack and hands it over to him.
He looks at it, opens it up, reads it briefly, folds it back up, hands it back to you. Okay. Harpy District is, and he gives you directions to it. You are a member of Liquidor's temple, though. This is the directions to their location. He gives you the directions for their temple. He says, doesn't matter which way you go. To me, personally, just make sure the administration knows where you're supposed to be, and have a good day. Next! You have been...
Takes her denti back.
Yep.
And...
he hands you your denti back, and just... business, keep it rolling. You walk into the city.
And...
Go ahead.
Scuttle to the side and don't. I don't know what the opposite of agoraphobia is, but it's and not claustrophobia, but just giant city. Crap, giant city, crap, giant city.
Yeah, just everything's huge. Maybe megalophobia, or afraid of big things.
Maybe, but she didn't know she had it until right now.
Yeah, so you're wandering through. You hear some child go, "Kitty!" And just full on point at you. Draws your attention for a second. His mother puts her hand over his mouth and says, "That's rude. Come on." And you find yourself wandering down this main street for a while. Amazing smells begin to fill the street at this early hour that you've arrived. Carried by your own 2 feet, 120 or so miles at this point to get here. And so far, everybody has been somewhat helpful, except for that kid.
So, little kid.
But there's real food available here. Good, like, there's like a street food vendor every 40 feet with like kebabs or flame roasted this or, some kind of snacky things. Breathing it in, it's almost overwhelming. Now that you're here, you're realizing there's a whole new world of culinary exploration available to you, and you've got no money. And Brother Edmund didn't warn you about this, but you do remember you were given an alms box.
Yeah. Well, she was given an alms box, and as wonderful as this all smells, she's got a duty to report to
The temple?
the agent of the Archmage.
Okay.
Yeah, and the temple. So she's going to go to the temple first.
Right. You go to the temple, bypassing the street food, resisting the urge to get kebabs. And you find your church around midday, and the members of your order are there to welcome you and give you lodging. You meet one particular person, one nun, who seems to be assigned to you, Sister Eunice. And while it is tempting for you to go about doing work here, you have been instructed that your work for the temple will be your obligations to the mission, and they will be fine dealing with the daily chores without you. They encourage you to go up to the academy and do your coursework, which you're obligated to attend. They have you introduced to Legate Asantha Scarenzi, and basically no one else. You don't actually meet with Martha Bloodwraith. They don't. Upon attempting to meet with that person, you are pointed in the direction of the legate. So, but you are no stranger to an academy environment, and language studies being the only course that you are given, really, that leaves you with a great deal of time left in any given day. So, on any given day, what does Lila do in the big city when she's done with class?
Well, she's going to see if there's a library.
Oh, there for sure is. You walk into on the main street, the King's Highway. It's not very far from the academy, but you take the King's Highway basically everywhere you want to go. It is one of two main streets that go basically north to south. The other one is Lombard, which goes southwest to northeast, so it's on an angle. Lombard is where all the artsy stuff is. King's Highway is where all the, other kinds of merchant sort of things. You leave the academy, cross King's Highway, and get on Lombard, and then you go down a little bit to what you think is a library. It is a place with lots of books, for certain. And the sign on the door says Berman and Nellons. And looks like a library. You walk in. What do you do in the library?
Oh. Very carefully, keeping paws inside sleeves, look at all the books.
So many books.
So many books.
A sea of books. Shelves upon shelves of them. There's this little scrawny old man that eyeballs you every time you come in. You wander in every day after class. And today he leans over and says, Miss.
Sir?
Miss. Come here a second.
Sir, yes.
Come here. So, I see you wandering in here every day.
Uh-huh. There are
I,
books here.
yes, that we yes. There's a great number of them. Um, I find it hard to believe that you have wandered into my shop every day for a while now and have yet to find a title that you find compelling enough, or interesting enough, or instructive enough to purchase.
These are for sale? I thought this
Yes.
was a library.
Oh no! Yeah, there is no public library here in Fordeth. The Academy has a small one associated with its various courses of study, but the this store is a store. We sell these.
Oh, well, there are a lot of books I'd like to have, but I know I can't afford them.
Ah, well, you are part of a temple. He gestures to your vestments.
Yes, Liquidor.
The Temple of Liquidor. Well, you all have a fine account in good standing with us. I'm sure if you receive permission from your temple's priest that you could get a book from here if you'd like. I do
Well,
understand the compelling draw of the vellum and ink, but I do need to let you know that books are for sale and not for perusing within the store. You can.
I have not touched one of them, but
Ah,
oh, they are lovely.
all right then.
They are so lovely. I will speak with the master priest and see if I can get one of your books.
Of course.
Though,
Is there something that you are looking for so that I may locate it for you between now and
uh,
then?
I'm interested in histories.
Ah, we have plenty of history books. What kind of history are you looking for?
Well, I doubt you'll have it, but a history of the eye?
Hmm. I must confess that we do have a book about your people and their history, but only through the lens of uh, Corinthians and our.
The
Um,
fighting, yes.
yes.
That's fine.
All right then. It's not going to paint your people in a forgiving light.
No, I'm trying to find out what we were before we woke up.
That's okay. Well, this volume will help with that. I also will see if I can pull some older scrolls that may have some references. Uh, that
That would be lovely.
I'll see what I can get my hands on. You go and get permission from your head priest, and we'll meet back here tomorrow. Then, how about that?
I like that very much. I'm Sister Lila.
Well, I am Mr. Berman,
I am most honored to make your friendship, Mr. Berman.
and my partner, my business partner, Mr. Nelon, he's around here somewhere, but he's squirrely. So, if he jumps out of a stack and scares the hell out of you, don't take it personally. He does that to everyone.
I will attempt not to take it personally. I cannot promise I will not scream, however.
Oh no, no one would blame you. He has one of those faces.
She's looking really concerned at this.
Eh, he has one of those faces that's scary. He's been through some physical trials, and his face has been left scarred from it.
Okay. All right. Yep, that's fine. But she doesn't know that yet, so she's looking real just okay. That scary guy might jump at me. Can't claw him.
Mhm.
Uh,
Okay, so you depart the store.
yes.
Right. Um, there are a lot of.
She also likes the store because it smells
It
wonderful.
does. It certainly does. Yes. There's also several other locations of interest here on Lombard Street. There's the Lucarius Theater of Performing Arts. There is, tea shops, coffee joints, bars and taverns, little smaller theaters, kind of like a neighborhood theater or that kind of thing. Um, Little art galleries, a couple of art museums.
Ooh, she'd go for an art museum.
Sure, yeah. Spends some days after class touring the various art museums and other museums in the central city.
Yep,
Get,
especially history.
yeah. There's a museum of natural history which mostly features rocks and some like anthropological stuff like old tools and urns galore and pottery and in some cases bones. There's a museum of, did I say natural history? I think I did.
Yes.
Right. Yeah, that's a lot of rocks. A lot of rocks in there. Rocks of various kinds, various colors. Um, there's a military museum. So there's a museum of Corinthian military history. There's a big wing on skirmishes with Scaldi and Ith, which are the topic is combined because to them originally, which you're aware of, Ith and Scaldi were both these monstrous peoples that were trying to like raid and ravage civilization, and that turned out to be a falsehood. It turned out to be misunderstanding in regards to the Scaldi, and it turned out to be the result of horrible mass domination on thrust upon your people. And so the more recent exhibits in this part of the museum are kind of about how that has since recently changed, and the understanding of this is that something in regards to this war that's currently happening changed that. If somebody important was killed or something like that, caused the Ith to stumble out of the woods free from the shackles that had controlled them, freed from the domination that had controlled them. Reading about this and looking at the various exhibits about this, you kind of find yourself having memories of intense violence, an intense animal, primal bloodthirst, something deeply
Yeah.
wrong in
Yep.
your it doesn't rectify with you because like you felt hunger before in your memory in the sort of like I should probably go hunting for food kind of way. You've never wanted to kill something just for the pleasure of it. But reading this
No,
stuff
but
reminds you of that feeling that you
yeah.
had buried in your psyche somewhere.
Yeah. Lila's also going to see. I know you want her to go begging, and
No, that's okay. She doesn't have to. It's an optional
yeah,
encounter.
she's going to see if she can get some small um, funds from the temple because she needs to buy some materials for some various things. Like one of her absolute favorite spells in the whole wide world is tongues,
Okay.
and she needs small clay models for that one.
Ah, okay.
And she needs to make a ziggurat. So she needs to be able to buy that. And there's some other ones she needs to buy small things for. You know.
For spell casting.
Yeah.
The wand's power is tempting, but you know, the blessings that you receive are what they are.
Mm-hmm.
Um, okay, so you return to the temple, and you, Sister Eunice, uh, connects with you at the end of this day. It says, "So, how did you enjoy the city today, Sister Lila?"
I enjoyed it a great deal. I found out the library I've been going to is a bookstore and they will let me buy books.
Oh yes, yes they will. Is there something that you'd like?
There's a couple of history books and some scrolls they mentioned.
Oh, okay. Um, well, I will put that in for your part of your budget. And you've been doing a lot of wandering around the merchant districts. Do you need anything that you don't already have? I'll try my best to get it for you.
I need some clay, some powdered silver would be useful. Um, I need some parchment and some things to write with. Ugh. Small things for the spells I know.
Okay.
Other ones I can create by myself, but there are ones I do need help with. Oh,
Well,
okay.
none of this seems to be
Uh,
very prohibitive when it comes to expense. Are you sure you need a diamond?
I only need a diamond if I need to bring someone back from the dead.
That's a thing you can do. Okay. Um, okay. Let me see if we can do that too. I wouldn't want you to need to do that and then not be able to do that. So let me find out well if we can afford that too. Okay. I'll.
If we cannot, I
Mhm.
would really like to make sure I have some salt and copper.
Well, we'll see if we can't get you all of the things on your list here, and what we can't get you, we can't get you. But we'll see. We'll do our
That
best as always.
always,
Okay.
yes.
Are you going to come to Sister Agatha's little talent show tonight? Some
I'd like that.
her shadow
It's a.
puppets routine. We've seen it before, but she likes to put it on.
I haven't seen it. I would be glad to see it.
Okay. Well, I'll
Is
let
there
her.
anything I need to know?
That it's shadow puppets, and it's not all that impressive. But it'll be your first time, so I'm sure it'll be fun. But we indulge Sister Agatha in her pursuit of talent. It keeps it things interesting. So
Yeah, that's
after midnight prayer, and don't worry about it too much. It's just a fun little thing she does. So
I that sounds delightful. I've never seen it, so it's a new thing. And learning new things is what Liquidor has us do.
certainly. Okay, well I'll see what I can get you, and you settle in for the rest of your day at the church, and this is generally what your routine looks like on a day-to-day basis. Then you do return to Bourbon and Nellon's the following day, and Mr. Berman will furnish you with a history book about recent uh, history. Goes back about 100 years. Um, he'll furnish you with an old scroll remarking, I was only able to find one of these. Um, doesn't reference much, but it does indicate that your people came about in a natural fashion as opposed to being um, constructed by divinity. So your origins are much like the Scaldi, which It means they are shrouded in mystery. Perhaps they're more tantalizing that way. So,
Perhaps, but I would love to know more about us before we were corrupted.
well, at least this will give you a place to start from and work your way forward from. Uh, and he quotes a number for you and gives you a slip of paper. And this slip of paper is basically a bill. It says, you bring this to your church, and they will see to it that I am paid. Okay?
Thank you, most kindly.
Of course. I'm sorry I couldn't find anything else for you in that subject matter. I'm also sorry that the state of academic affairs regarding your people is so lackluster. But perhaps you will be someone to look for if you publish your own work about your people someday.
That's something I can do.
Well, yes. All you have to do is set pen to paper and write in a thoughtful and compelling and empirical manner. And perhaps someone will take an interest in it. Someone will pay for your work and have it bound into a volume such as one of these. And he gestures at the books in the store. And failing that, you will have a large manuscript that will be found years after your death and will then be attributed to you, and people will regard it much better for whatever reason.
May I continue to come in and visit with you
Yes.
as long as I'm here in the capital?
Yes, you're.
I find talking to you to be most pleasant.
Of course. Yes, feel free to stop by anytime.
Thank you. And she will take the book, the scroll, and the slip of paper, and she will head back to the temple and hand that over to Sister Eunice.
Sure. Sister Eunice takes it. You know, that evening she gives you your spellcasting materials, good for, one casting of each of your spells that has materials that are consumed. So you have.
Oh my dear God! Seriously, That's a lot.
Yes, she says. Well, when I brought up that you were on this mission, the shopkeepers stopped holding back on what they were holding on to, and so it seems to me this is fairly important to some people, and people have been coerced. And she kind of winks at you and says, coerced into being more cooperative. So we managed to get everything on your list.
Oh my. Well, the goddess is most kind.
She is.
To open people's hearts in such ways.
Yes, that is what I was about to say.
I am looking forward to the shadow show tonight.
Shadow Puppet Theater, yes. It's really not anything too exciting. This is something that a lot of kids do when they're, being kids. Maybe you don't. Maybe you have no idea what I'm talking about. I'll see.
I'm afraid I don't, but I'm looking forward to having it.
All right. Well, I'll see you, for that around midnight.
All right.
Okay. Later that evening, unless there's something that you want to do before the evening's up.
Nope.
Okay. Later that evening, after midnight prayer, you are fetched by Sister Eunice and brought into the main chapel. There, by one of the braziers, is Sister Agatha, and she's maybe 14. Maybe. Slip of a girl, a stiff breeze could knock her over, especially in all of those vast mitts, right? You know, it would just catch her like a sail and take her off into oblivion, right? Um, she's kind of kneeling by this brazier and this lantern next to it. She puts some coals in the lantern and gives it a nice glow with that, and then opens the eye on the lantern so that a bright circle is cast on the chapel wall, and then she does a dog with her hands. And she goes, bark, bark, bark. And there's like 4 people in this room. Yourself, Sister Eunice, who seems to be here because you are, um, one of the other nuns, and the priest.
Uh,
And and it looks like
she's going to be utterly enraptured. She's
right.
never seen anything like this before in her life.
The other 3 people here, other than Sister Agatha, are just enraptured that you're enraptured. And it's just that. It's just a shadow puppet show. A little shadow puppet show put on by a kid who's very excited about learning how to do a gorilla, for example. Learning how to do a much more convincing dog and cat, that sort of thing. And so, you know, it's 15 minutes. And Sister Agatha bounds up to you. Goes, so, Sister Lila, how was that?
That was amazing. I've never seen anything like that before, ever. You are so talented to come up with that.
Well, to be honest,
Especially like the bunny.
to be honest, I didn't, I haven't, it's not that big of a thing. And Sister Eunice goes, no, no, it's fun. It's fun. It's just every night. It's a lot. Okay. Maybe we do it once a week, or maybe we do it every time you learn a new one. Huh? There's other things that you can learn to do that are fun and good hobbies, and also can enrich your life and your in you know studies. You can be a little bit more attentive on, Agatha. She kind of like does an all shucks kind of, move where she puts her legs together and kind of wobbles back and forth like she's been caught. Yeah, I could be putting more into my studies, but shadow puppets are so fun. Well, I appreciate you coming to my shadow puppet show.
Well, thank you for having the show. But if you go follow your studies more, you might learn about new things to make shadow puppets out of.
That's a good take on this. I'm going to choose to believe what Sister Lila said is the best suggestion for learning more things, Sister Eunice, because your way is boring. Sister Eunice is standing there with her mouth agape. The priest goes,
Oh,
"Oh boy, I'm leaving. Have a good night, ladies. Bye." And he leaves.
Lila has sort of rolled in on herself. Miss Spike,
Uh,
Sister Eunice, did I err? I'm sorry.
no, 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 you're fine. She's precocious. She's a teenager. She's gonna say stuff like that. Don't worry about it. Sister Agatha sticks her tongue out and walks away. See? Precocious. Teenager. It's fine. Shh.
I figured anything that got her to study more was good.
No, your suggestion was right. It was just, you know, she wanted to use it as a barb against me, and that's okay. It's normal for a teenager like that to lash out and rebel, and you're new here, and she likes you, so you're going to have a lot more pull with her right now.
I don't think she'd have as much pull if she could see how I struggle in some of my classes.
Are those not going well?
No, they are. It's just My mouth isn't shaped right for some of those words.
Yeah. I guess it wouldn't be. I mean, with the fangs. She kind of like
No,
does a hand gesture at the mouth.
no, I, the instructor says I sound like I'm talking through a bucket.
A bucket. Talking through a bucket. He really said that to your face?
Yes.
Rude. Very rude. I'm gonna have
No,
words.
don't.
No, I'm gonna have words with him about that. It's insensitive.
Well, I do have fangs, and some of the words are hard.
Right. And he should be aware of that because she gestures to all of you and says you could easily pounce on him and tear him limb from limb. So he should probably be a little bit more. Not that you would, Sister Lila. Not that you would. I'm not suggesting that you
Okay.
would do such a thing. But he should be aware that you could. And maybe he should be more polite to you because of that.
Well, if you think so,
I think he should have been
I
more
mean,
polite to you.
she says something in Darthak, or what language is that?
Dry
Uh,
Marha.
Drem Dryhama. Yeah, and the Dryhelm version of the rain in Spain is falling mainly on the plain.
Mm. She goes, "Yep, that's I because she doesn't speak it." She
I'm
goes,
talking through a bucket.
"Well, you're doing your best, so
I'm trying.
it's okay. You know, I here's the thing, right? You learned Kruic through immersion. You lived among people that spoke it, right?
Uh-huh.
And that's how you learned
I
it."
learned Kruik and High Kruik.
Right, in High Kruic, you learn by talking a little fancier, using bigger words that mean more things, more specific things, and also how to write and read. And that's how you learn that. You were taught how to read and write. You're not going to learn how to speak that dry Mahutsit up here. You're going to learn it down where you're going. You're going to learn it on your mission. You're going to have some understanding, kind of like the words will start making some sense to you, but I suppose they're going to speak very fast at you, and you're not going to have a whole lot of time to parse it. So,
Oh, I can always slow them down like I did when I was learning Kruik.
yes, that'll help. So you'll get the hang of it.
She smiles really widely with lots of fangs.
It was very intimidating, Sister Lila. See, you know what this is about. You can put those away. Um, but when you understand what I'm saying, you're gonna learn it there. You're not gonna learn it so much up here. Just do well enough that they'll pass you and you can get on with the mission. So,
I'm doing my best.
of course. Um, okay, well, your departure date's soon, like a week from now. Are you nervous?
Little, I haven't met any of the others yet, or at least they haven't made themselves known to me.
Oh,
But
I suppose
the
that's
classes are large.
yeah, and I suppose that's to be expected. Um, if there's anything you want to do in Fordeath before you leave, like I don't know, have a nice fancy meal at one of the fancy restaurants or something like that, we can arrange it.
Would you go with me?
Of course, Sister Lila, I'd love to go with you.
I would like that.
Okay.
You know the city better than I do. You
I
pick one out. I have so many things I've never tried or had.
I will And she kind of has a big smile. I'll make some selections. We'll go on a little tour. And I'm sure the temple won't mind because you'll be doing it as a culture sampling for your diplomatic mission. Right?
Oh, all right. That sounds charming.
Of course, and perfectly legitimate. She says, "Have a good evening, Sister Lila. I will see you tomorrow."
See you tomorrow, Sister Eunice. Have a lovely evening.
She bows to you and goes to bed.
That was bad.
The following morning, Sister Eunice comes and gets you that morning a little early, and she goes, "So there's some breakfast places we want to head up, a tea shop, a good lunch spot, and very nice dinner spot. We're going to do this all today, um, in so that we can get you through all of that, and we'll do a couple more the rest of this week, and then we'll say our farewells."
Oh, all right. I
Okay.
assume she doesn't have class today.
No. Um, Sister Eunice has taken command. She's driving the car now. So you go on basically a cultural tasting tour of Fordeth. Some street food spots, some lovely kebabs and taco kind of things, pita bread and
Those
stuff.
lovely food she smelled when she first got there.
Hmm. Sister Eunice generally states that if the street food in a town is bad, leave. Don't eat anything in a town where the street food sucks.
Well, how do I know it sucks?
Because when you eat it, you'll immediately need to run to the latrine, or it doesn't taste very good.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, the intersection for food is good and cheap, right? Good and
Mm-hmm.
cheap. The intersection for like fancy food is good and expensive. And so you're
Well, if it's expensive, wouldn't it automatically be good?
no. Sometimes it's
Oh.
just expensive and it's not good at all.
Ooh. Ew.
Right. And so she shows you a couple of hole in the wall kind of food places as well. And she says to you, "Now, if the place looks like crap," and she gestures to a place that looks like it's falling over, "but there's a line out the door," and she gestures to the line out the door, she says, "then that place is the best food in the city."
Why? Is
Be-
it because they're spending money on the food and not on the outbuilding?
you got it.
Ah.
They're spending their money where it counts. The staff and the ingredients. They could give a tale of a monkey about the building.
Well, if the building falls on them, they should give more than a tail of a monkey, but I see your point.
That's what insurance is for, Sister Lila. And she shows you a very fancy restaurant on the north end of Lombard Street. Castle is within view, and she says, "Now this place we can't actually afford, but if you go to a place like this where they have staff that basically show you to your table and wait on you hand and foot, and the food is good, and they're using cloth on the tables like that. You see that?" And she points through the window, shows you. And that place is very expensive, and if it's packed full of people, it's very good.
And if it's not packed full of people, it's bad.
Right, it's overpriced for what it is. If you can't get on the list to be seated at all, then it's probably the best restaurant in the city that is like this.
All right. These are things they do not teach you in the temple.
No, this is only stuff you can learn in the big city.
All right. So what's our next stop?
Our next stop is dessert, and she takes you to
Mm.
basically like a like a fruit and cream kind of stand.
I, by the end of this, Lila's kind of round.
Right. You and Sister Brutus both are a little round. It's whipped cream and some very nice fruit is the dessert stand. She goes, now I know we've more than eaten our full here, and this would be considered borderline vain for us to pamper ourselves and our stomachs in such a fashion. But did you learn something today?
I learned a great deal today.
Good.
I learned where it's safe to eat and where it's not safe to eat in a large city.
Mm-hmm.
I learned that sometimes expensive does not mean good.
Mm-hmm.
And I learned that I really like that white stuff that goes on the fruit.
Whipped cream, yes. It's just, yeah,
Yes.
yeah, it's good stuff, huh? Um, so,
I think that would help a lot of people's well being in the temple if we fed them that.
oh, probably, but I don't think we would. Maybe that's something we should start doing. Is just, combine that with good food rather than ascetic and uh, just the usual bland oatmeal to fortify their spirit and body. Ugh. A little variety is good for people, I think.
I think it is too.
At least let them
And I think,
mix fruit in it.
yeah,
Yeah.
that would be good. But I think some of that, um, and those little wafer things that we had at the shop with all the drinks, the tea shop.
Yes, yes.
I think those would be really good with the whipped cream.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll maybe you can try it the next time you stop through here. Um, they didn't tell me much about your mission, just that you have one and that you're going to see the Dark Elves. Um, I know it is a it's stepping out of bounds for me to ask you this, but if you get the chance, I'd like to, you know, see some kind of I'd like something from there. I think it's fascinating that there's this whole people we know basically nothing about, you know?
Yeah, Sister Eunice, I know nothing about my own people. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's just I think a souvenir would be good for the church and myself. It'd be nice, I think. Because then we could remember this and the church would always have a tangible thing to remark on about your pilgrimage and your journey, you know?
I will see what I can find for the church. For you, after today, I think you want one of their recipe guides.
Oh, that would be too much to ask for, but well appreciated.
Well, if they have one, I will try to bring it back along with something for the church proper.
Yes, well, I think it would be good for us to have a memento, us being the order, when, you know, in centuries come, people will be able to look at it and know your story and what you accomplished.
The bookseller suggested that I write things down, especially about my own people.
Hmm.
so people would know that. But I think I should also write down this.
It's a good idea. We'll make sure you get plenty of paper and some ink for that before you
Thank you.
leave.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but I think I want a nap.
I hear you. And you guys roll yourselves back to the church. Um, that said, I believe we have reached the end of our regularly scheduled programming. Is there anything
Cool.
that Lila would like to pursue before we close for the evening? She has some time left before her departure.
Um, well, I don't know if she knows how to use a shield. She has one, but I don't know if she knows how to use one or not.
She does.
Okay. Um, Not that I could think of. She'll probably be practicing her writing
Yeah.
on, writing journals on the trip out and hopefully the trip back. Um, it's rude to show up without a present.
Okay.
So she might want to try and find something to take as a gift to the other priests because there's going to be other priests
Okay.
in the Darkland. So something that
Make.
is
I think this is your only roll I've had you make.
it is
Make a religion check for me to see what would be an appropriate gift for a priestess of the Dark Elves.
okay.
Ooh, big 20.
I will take that.
You find um, a bowl. It's maybe a foot and a half in diameter. It is made of silver.
Good Lord.
Yeah, it's a big bowl. It's made of silver. There is an etching of a crescent moon in it. And it's for holding water. It's for a mirrored finish, right? You put water in there and it makes it into a mirror.
Okay, that sounds like a heck of a gift to give somebody.
Yep.
If it sounds like a seeing bowl, so okay.
So you get that commissioned. It gets made for you to be a gift to give to a priestess that you meet
Um,
on behalf of the Temple of Liquidor.
Yep.
Okay.
That was the only roll you had me make.
That was the only roll I had you make. Okay. That was the only roll that had some risk to it. It's the only thing that had some real risk to it. Aside from, like, you begging, like, in the street for, like, alms. That was the only risk. So, okay.
Okay.
And that'll be the end.
All right.
That'll be the end of our session. Did you have fun?
I had fun. I had a great deal of fun.
Okay.
How do you like Lila?
I like Lila. We're going to go ahead and close for the evening, and we will see you again on Wednesday for our final session of Kingdom of Darkness. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you for watching.